आपके हिसाब से प्लेसमेंट कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है?
See, it's the icing on the cake.
कितनी कंपनीज आती हैं IHM Pusa?
So if we see last year's data, we had around 50 plus companies. In our flagship program, the second year students have to go to industrial training.
Yes, for the internship, which is
Yes.
17 weeks.
Yes.
If somebody is doing training at a specific property, so that increases the probability of getting a job there. Is it helpful? Is it connected? What do you feel?
No, I don't think so. That is connected. जब हम invitation भेजते हैं cities को, we ask them share the job description, share the salary package.
Hello everyone. Greetings from IHM Pusa. I'm your host Mamta Bisht for this episode of Pusa podcast. This is our 4th episode and एक recap करें कि अभी तक हमने क्या किया था. So in the first episode we had our own principal sir Mr. Kamal Kanpant, and we talked about IHM Pusa in general, what is our vision, what is the mission, how we are handling things. In the next episode we talked about how you will reach IHM Pusa. So we talked about the joint entrance exam. And the last episode, which I hope you would have watched by now, was about IHM Pusa versus IHM Mumbai. People think we are competitor, but I hope by now it would be very much clear that we work together as a team. And today's episode is gonna be most interesting. क्यों? क्योंकि जिसलिए हम लोग आते हैं किसी कॉलेज में, आज उसके रिजल्ट की बारी है. Can you guess that? Well, it is. We are talking about placements. And today, I'm very glad to present in front of you Dr Anshu Singh, our placement coordinator for IHM Pusa.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to this most awaited episode.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that reminds me, if you have any other own preference for what should be the next podcast, do leave in comment section, right? So I think let's start. So ma'am, placement, this is the most crucial thing which a student would have in his mind whenever, I would say, they are thinking about a career,
Right.
right? And the moment, they think about that, I need to pursue this course. So end result becomes very important. And the end result is placements. So हम यहाँ से शुरू करेंगे कि आपके हिसाब से placement कितना important है?
See, it's the icing on the cake, as sir always says, as sir. And yes, it is important because it's the sight, the vision the students come to IHM Pusa. They look forward that, yes, we are going to take good placement from this institute, being the premier institute of hospitality. So yes, they come with this vision and we try our level best to place them in the best of the sectors that they look forward to.
All right. So अभी हम लोग पहले एक ओवरव्यू लेते हैं मैम. तो कितनी कंपनीज आती हैं IHM Pusa?
So if we see last year's data, we had around 50 plus companies
that's
by
really
the
good.
end of
Good
the
number.
session. And this year also, as we see the figures till 29th of February 2024, we have already 52 companies that have visited the institute.
And we are having some more?
Yes, till the end of the academic session.
So it will go on. So
Yes,
probably we can have an update on that, how many companies actually came
Yes,
for this
so
session.
looking forward to touch
Yes.
60 plus this year.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Right.
Okay. So ma'am, ये जो placement companies आती हैं, so are they only hotels?
No. So our avenue has increased, the horizon has increased because now the other sectors are seeing that yes, our hospitality students are ready for every sector. So
Right.
many companies, yes, our first priority is for hotels, and then they come to the next level in hospitality, the retail sector.
Okay.
So if you see this time in 24 till date, we have around 25% of the students already placed in hotels. The next sector is our retail sector. And if you see retail sectors, we have companies coming up like Aditya Birla, we have Reliance verticals that are coming up. So you name it and we have it in the institute. And after retail, it's QSR, quick selling restaurants.
Yes.
They are also there. We have HR corporates that come to our institute to hire our students because end of the day, what they want, to be servicing a guest or a consumer or a customer, if we say. So our
Right.
students are trained for everyone. So they look forward to hire a hotel management graduate from our side.
Oh, this has become interesting. So you're saying the retail chain, they would prefer a hotel management
Right.
over, I would say, an MBA or people who have done BBA or probably who have done, other courses. Why
Yes.
hotel management? Aren't we too specific about hotels? Like,
So, as I just said, that yes, we train our student 360.
okay,
So, to dealing with a guest, it is the most important, whether you're serving food, whether you are taking care in their rooms, whether you are receiving at the front office desk. So, we are dealing with a guest. And if you see a retail sector or a QSR, the customer, the consumer that is coming to you is also looking forward to the best of the services. Today, a person needs best of the communication skill from the other end rather than giving a danda to the other person and saying ki bhaiya ye le lo. Nahi, everyone look forward to a courteous thing, and that my student is ready for.
right, right. So I think that was a good, I would say you covered all the points very briefly, but this is only the brief because now we'll be talking about these things in detail.
Right.
So, ma'am, at IHM Pusa, we have, I would say, three kinds of courses. We have our one-year programs, we have our flagship program, which is the BSc program, and we also have MSc.
Right.
Right? So, let's talk about the moment a student enters IHM Pusa as a placement head. What comes in your mind, like how we are supposed to groom these people?
See, the grooming and the testing of the student start from the moment he or she enters. So during their induction days, when they
Right.
enter the first day of the institute, we tell them that this is your day one. Please start preparing. Please be alert what your senior students are saying, what your faculty members are saying, because they will guide you through. They have an experience that how industry has come up in past and what is the current scenario in the industry, what is the demand. So we say that be alert on the current affairs, be
Right.
alert on the journal knowledge aspect. From day one, start making your own notes, make your own diary, start writing what is happening in what event. And by the end, you are in your second year. We all are aware that in our flagship program, the second year students have to go to industrial training.
Just for the internship, which is
Yes,
17 weeks.
yes.
Yes.
So that is again a very crucial time for a student because now he is in the hotel to learn.
Right.
And
Right.
then once they're out from their industrial training, coming to third year, now it's time that they are facing the placement companies. So day one till every day you are sitting on the first day of your placement, you have to be ready. You have to be alert. You have to be perseverant for the same thing.
Very well said, that, ma'am. And I would like to inform the viewers that because somehow training is also related to the end result, which is placement. So, ma'am is also taking care of the industrial training part at IHM Pusa.
Yes.
So, ma'am, we were actually discussing about the flagship program, which was the 3-year program. So, we mentioned that when they join us, we have, in fact, we have orientation program for all the major things what we're having in the college. And similarly, even the placement team, they have a session with the students wherein the details you just spoke about, you are, sensitizing the students about that. So, what I want to know in detail is, एग्जैक्टली प्लेसमेंट टीम इंटरवीन कहाँ से करती है वन ऑन वन बेसिस पे इज इट दी ड्यूरिंग द आईटी टाइम और इज इट इन द थर्ड ईयर
Yes, IT is crucial because that is the baseline that you start choosing
यस
hotels as per your thought process. Some students have their dream properties to join tomorrow.
राइट
So please start from your second year. If you want to get into an industrial training exposure for that particular hotel, start from your second year. You prepare yourself, get through that hotel and learn because right now you're a trainee. You're not a on
एम्प्लॉय
job. So
यस
that is very important that people are ready to teach you there also. So those are the formative years for you to reach to your dream property.
Okay, so if somebody is doing training at a specific property, So that increases the probability of getting a job there. Is it helpful? Is it connected? What do you feel?
No, I don't think so. That is
Okay.
connected. But yes, definitely it gives you a good base because you know in and out of the hotel.
Yes.
That is there.
Yeah.
And yes, few hotels have a provision during their IT that if you do your IT in a particular hotel, you get a clearance in the group discussion aspect
Okay.
when they come for the placement. But I won't say that that is a thing that will help you out in getting placement tomorrow. It's just a small thing that they present that you were a trainee in our hotel, so a little privilege is given, but
Right.
99.9% it's no.
Okay.
That it is not going to help you out because we are seeing, and this is what is the truth. The
Okay.
student has to be perseverant all the time to reach their dream property.
Right, ma'am. So after their training part, which is happening in their second year internship, we are calling about, when they enter third year and the kind of list you have shared or the numbers you have mentioned now, I think the placement starts quite early. You know, it's like the feeling is कि अभी तो आए थे और placement चालू हो गया.
Right.
ऐसा वाला, you know, I've heard students speaking about that. So usually like July is the time when we start with the third year session, which is the fifth semester.
Right.
So I think हार्डली एक मंथ के बाद में प्लेसमेंट शुरू हो जाता है, राइट? सो आई थिंक यहाँ से आपका प्लेसमेंट प्रोसेस शुरू होता है.
Right.
सो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द प्रोसेस, मैम. यू नो, हाउ डू यू स्टार्ट? लाइक कैसे होता है, कैसे
So,
कंपनीज हम फिगर आउट
right.
करते हैं, व्हाट इज द क्राइटेरिया, बिकॉज दिस इज गोना बी इंटरेस्टिंग नाउ.
So we start usually the first thing is formulating a placement guidelines for that academic
Right.
session.
Very well.
That is a very important part, and we take pride in announcing the placement guidelines. The management of the institute, starting from the principal sir, all HODs, we sit together, we formulate the guidelines, and those guidelines, once finalized, we put up on our website also,
Okay.
so that it is clear to everyone that these are certain guidelines that the student has to follow. Because as an institute, we do say that we want all our students to be placed.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
one person, one job offer is the major thing that we take care in the
Okay.
guidelines. And secondly, seeing the benefit of the student, we give them two opportunities to
All right.
rise in their career. One is related to designation,
Okay.
which we say that in case you have got a lower level means a supervisory level, not a management trainee position, then you can make a shift from a supervisory to a management trainee position. So this is designation wise. Secondly, the salary part, the
And
stipend that they get.
any number there, like?
Yes, we say that any company that is offering 1.5 times higher, the student can make a shift. So if a person is having one job in his or her hand and a company that is offering 1.5 times higher, the student can go forward with.
Okay.
So these guidelines not only shared with the student, it is shared with the company also.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes,
Yes.
so
Very
they
important
should,
also.
so they should also be ready to hear that yes, this is what our students want, and we are there for our students.
Okay.
So these guidelines, and as you said, the process. So once the guidelines are fixed, we take a briefing of our students, third year student, the outgoing batch, the BSc
Right.
students also, and the master students also. We take their briefing, we explain each point that you have to be ready with all these things before we start the placement.
Okay.
And we get a signature that they will be following those guidelines. That is the initial part.
Right.
Side by side, we do is formulation of a student placement coordinators.
Okay.
Because the thing of Pusa is the student strength.
Yes.
You name, and we have the student strength behind that work.
मतलब इतने सारे क्लब्स हैं तो आप ये समझिए प्लेसमेंट टीम एक्चुअली भी मतलब इफ आई टर्म ऑल्दो देयर इज नथिंग क्लबिंग अबाउट इट बट हाँ उस तरीके से हमारी स्टूडेंट्स की टीम है
Student
जो
team
हैंडल
है,
कर रही है. सो दैट
बिल्कुल.
टीम इज हैविंग सेकंड इयर्स.
No,
Third years
majorly the
also.
third years.
Okay.
So their batchmates only are there because they know and they are seeing for last 2 years with them. So they take proper records of things they are the ones who are the mediator between the college faculty placement coordinators and the students. So they are the bridge between them. So all the data, whatever information we get, we pass it to the coordinators. Coordinators would be passing to the students. And this is how we make the cycle, so that nobody is left in between and the right information is being reached with the students timely.
Right. Because nowadays it's an information age and everyone wants all the information, and I think as early as possible. So probably you're into your phone all the time. So
Right.
if I may elaborate that what ma'am just mentioned, that I think the placement team, ma'am correct me if I'm going wrong, that the placement team will have few second years and third years. The second years who are assisting this time, when they reach their third year, so they probably understand the process in a better way than their, all the other batchmates. So they become these coordinators. Is it like that?
No, ma'am. So for this, we circulate again a Google form.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It's nothing that the second years can be the third year
Okay.
coordinators. No, we circulate when the sessions start. We circulate and we take a written test of those.
Oh.
And it's open for all third years. You answer. If you are achieving good scores in that, we shortlist the student. Then we take PI.
Okay.
So that process of entry is not an easy to become a student coordinator for that. So we do that, and that after that PI, we formulate a team of 5 to 6 students who would be taking care of the academic session placements.
Right.
So this is our first stage, we can say. Then the time when my guidelines are complete, my student team is ready, we start sending the invites.
Okay.
So a few companies, yes, every year they have been coming. We know that the traditional, the old ones, they know Pusa. We have to go there and we have to pick up the best lot from the
Ma'am, audience के लिए हम कुछ नाम share कर सकते हैं. I think
yes,
these companies which are
our
regular.
premier brands, starting from the Broys, the ITC group, we have Taj Group, IHCL Group, which comes. We have Marriott also. All these brands are expanding. You read today on online, and these brands are expanding like anything, and they require the manpower. And I'll say hotel management institutes are there for you to support.
At times when I come to your office, I see, your calendar is actually full.
Yes.
And, I have, overheard a conversation when you're discussing with these hotel people, कि नहीं ये date नहीं मिल सकता, this is already full, and they are pressurizing you, नहीं ma'am, हमें ये date चाहिए. So that also shows the kind of excitement we have around placement, and I think the kind of companies which are approaching. I have seen you, saying no to certain companies, which is not really easy, because I think you again have criteria in
Right.
choosing the company which is reaching IHM Pusa. So if I have understood it correctly, ma'am.
Yes, we do, because end of the day, it's a win-win situation for our students and for the institute. So we
Right.
have to have a benchmark in selecting the companies. So as a team, we sit together and formulate that criteria that any company, this salary package, we put a benchmark to it. I won't share what is the benchmark right now, but yes, it is very important to see the benchmark and the position that they are offering.
So this should be at least, something which is moving in the industry. So we are talking about that.
Right.
So अभी हम यहाँ नहीं discuss कर रहे, but then again we do have a process.
Yes.
And if you see this placement part, it's a very systematic process, because if you want good result, and that is what ma'am is talking all about. So हमने मैम बात किया कि हमने companies भी, we have certain criteria for students to appear. We have a team, and again a process how that team is selected, and again a criteria how we are shortlisting which all company can actually come to Pusa.
Right.
Oh, so मतलब हम इस position में हैं, so all callers up.
Definitely.
That we are choosing there also, and so we have good number of companies now which we say which are coming to Pusa. Now, let's continue with the process. So, what is the next step?
So next step is like after sending the invitation, we fix up a date convenient to both the parties.
Right.
My institute date and the company should also be available that day. So we are open for all three modes. You are most welcome to the campus. So on campus
Yes.
placements, we are ready to send the students on site. If the company is busy and they are not able to come over to the institute, our students will reach you out.
Right.
So they'll come to you. And the third is online mode.
Right.
So that's very important.
It's a very interesting thing. I don't know I should share it right now or not. For me, it's 25th year in IHM Pusa. So initially, what trend we have seen is the day you will have placements, सब लोग बिल्कुल ready okay. The entire batch to batch will sit there. And the placement process will take time. In fact, companies will take 2 or 3 days. And what I have been observing from last 2-3 years is that students have also become very selective. So you will not have the entire 300 people sitting for a placement. So मैम इसके बारे में कुछ बताइए.
So इसके बारे में ये है कि जब हम invitation भेजते हैं companies को, we ask them share the job description, share the salary package, because my student need clarity. So these two things, yes, we do ask, and once we get that, then only we form a Google form. So with that Google form, describing the company details, describing the job description for which they are coming for hiring, and thirdly, the salary package we share with the students. So if the student has gone through and he is ready for that company, it's not mandatory that every student has to sit for that. If it's you are big enough, you are adult enough to understand your do's and don'ts, fill that only when you are ready for that company.
So usually it is, I think, 1/3 of the batch which is there at max, because.
Yes, it depends. Like hotels, yes, is the first priority. So I have around 160 students also sitting at times together.
Yes.
There are companies, yes, there are 50 students also, 15 students also. So your classes are going side by side. So we have to take care that without missing your regular classes, you have to be there also. And if you are interested in company, most welcome, we are there for you. So this is the message very clear for the students, that it's not that you would be sitting enjoying the whole day. That is very clear from the placement guidelines.
If you're serious for placement, if you're serious, if you look forward to getting associated with that company, working for that company, then only probably fill in that form and come. Yes.
So then the process go ahead. Every company has a different kind of a process of recruitment.
So in general, if we talk about that process, so what exactly it is? How the company starts?
Majorly the company comes forward and give the pre-placement talk.
Okay.
So they are ready with the presentation, they are ready with their question and answers. So they put up to the students, they give the brief of the company. So that is the one basic thing which usually all the companies go forward with. Followed by that, there can be a written assessment.
Okay.
So that is testing their logistic skills. Then we go forward for a group discussion. That is one stage of elimination round. So the company, when they come, they define us that these are the rounds we are coming for. We brief the students that these would be your testing grounds, so be ready accordingly.
Okay.
So
apart from GD also, I have seen companies conducting other ways of eliminating and selecting
there are
students.
video rounds also.
Okay.
As COVID has make us learn so many things.
So now that's interesting. What is that?
So the student is given certain questions. That question he has to answer or she has to answer. Make his or her video recording and send it to the company.
Oh, wow.
So the first level of elimination can be done there
nice.
also.
So technology helps.
Technology is there with us. So that is one thing. And then there is a final PI. Few companies, especially in retail sector and QSR, the same day in the evening we have the results.
Oh wow! So
then and there they are ready to give you the results that, ma'am, these are the students who we have shortlisted.
Okay.
And yes, other companies, they do have further rounds, technical rounds, and managers round, and GM rounds, and owners rounds. So all these are
Okay.
there. So some companies, they go for seven rounds also, eight rounds also. So it all depends on the company, their plan of action to get
Right.
the recruitment done.
So there would be some companies जो शाम तक बता रही है कि कौन से बच्चे ट्रीट देने
बिल्कुल.
वाले हैं, and there would be certain other companies which will probably आपके दिल की धड़कन आपको तेज बढ़ाते रहना है, उसके हिसाब से
And
भी
students
बैठना
are
है.
very anxious. मैम रिजल्ट आया, मैम नेक्स्ट स्टेज का कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन आई.
So
आ
मैम
जाएगी.
किस टाइप की कंपनीज जो टेक्निकल राउंड्स की भी हमने बात किया, टेक्निकल राउंड्स मतलब कहाँ पे किस वाले एरियाज में टेक्निकल राउंड्स होते
So
हैं?
these are subject specific.
Okay.
So when we speak about technical means, if you are sitting, the student again has an option during his years of 3 years that whether you want to go only in F&B service, whether you want to join rooms division, whether you
Right.
want to be the chef in the company. So these are certain technical rounds that the hotel look forward, and then they grill the person with those technicalities in their further rounds.
Yes.
Initially, what they want is a smart student with a
Yes.
good attitude. That is more important that the company is looking forward to.
Yes, and here I think I would like to also pitch in that at times we think कि मतलब placement हो गया तो आप बहुत अच्छे हैं, placement नहीं हुआ तो आप अच्छे नहीं हैं. It's not like that. A company will have certain requirements in the mind, and you would also have certain, in fact, with today's generation, they are very much clear about what they want and
want.
what kind of job they are looking forward to.
Right.
So it has to be a perfect match, and then probably you are going ahead and working with that company, because for company they are also investing so much of time and energy. उनको भी तो ऐसे लोग चाहिए कि जो उनके साथ रहें, और आपको भी ऐसा चाहिए जहाँ पे that is how we say career is about continuity. So it is about, I think, choosing from both the ends. So we have been briefing the students about that also.
Yes.
That it is not about if you get selected or if you or get rejected. The rejection is not for life, or that doesn't term that you are
As
good
you
or
said,
bad.
it should be a right
Yes.
match.
Yes.
So the HR person or the team that comes from the company, they are looking for the right match. So that is there, and that click should be there.
I
That
would
yes, he is the person best fit for my company.
And on a lighter note, हम कहते हैं ना, जोड़ियाँ भगवान बनाता है या ऊपर
जोड़ियाँ
से
ही
बन
बन
के
रही
आती है. तो कुछ जोड़ियाँ जहाँ पे आपके करियर का जो जीवन साथी बनेगा वो IHM पूसा में भी बनती है. So you have the company and it is you and we are the matchmakers. So,
But here I would
Yes.
like to say it is not the end.
Yes.
It is just a stepping stone. Campus placements are just a stepping stone. I always brief my student for this.
Yes.
That take it as a learning opportunity and learn, and you have the world in front of you.
Absolutely.
Learn, because it will add on a line in your CV tomorrow, in a resume. Yes, you have done work here. That is also very important. So as a faculty, as a placement coordinator, I would like to emphasize that campus placements is just a step. Please climb and go over. You'll find good lot of opportunities for you.
And ma'am, it's very interesting. What we have seen is at times there would be surprises when people are selecting a department. हमें लगता है कि अरे ये तो इसमें नहीं जाएगा, and then you have people. So I have seen students coming from front office and they are very successful chefs today.
Yes.
So this also happens. So how do you handle this? ऐसा होता है कि जब student कोई हम लोग apply करवाते हैं, so they have to specify the department then and there, या कैसे रहता है?
नहीं, वो प्री इन्फॉर्म हमने बताया हमें गूगल फॉर्म भरवाते हैं. सो कंपनी बताती है हमें पोजीशंस चाहिए इस डिपार्टमेंट में.
Right.
So we ask them while they are filling the Google form that which department you are looking forward to.
Okay.
But there are chances during the interview. I have heard that, ma'am, he has filled for kitchens, but he is good in service.
Right.
So we are recommending him for service. That attitude. So as we said, the right match, the attitude is being looked during his interview. So they are also psychologists. Our students are also a bigger psychologist.
Yes.
So during interview, it's the psychology game that is going on. So that is also a turning point.
As an institute, we have to assess the whole process, and probably, because we are faculty, so we have to mentor these students also. And nowadays, I think mindset game becomes very, very important because you get a lot of influence and influencers influencing you. So वो सब चीज़ें भी रहती हैं. So placement का काम, I think it's overall 360 what you had mentioned in the beginning. Okay, ma'am. So अभी हम बात करते हैं. Let's take forward the process. I've become very excited now. So students को हमें जैसे selection आ गया, companies, there would be companies, किसी ने जैसे retail की हमने बात की, and by the end of the day you have selected 20 people, let's say, और उनका अब कहीं और कंपनी में भी राउंड चल रहा है जिसका रिजल्ट नहीं आया. सो लाइक हाउ इट इज, दे कैन कंटिन्यू विद दैट कंपनी. जैसे आज एक जॉब मिल गई मुझे शाम को, फॉर एग्जांपल रिलायंस आया एंड आई हैव गॉट अ जॉब. However, I have also applied for other hotels. So I will be allowed to continue with that process?
Yes, you can, because as said that we have a placement guidelines.
Yes.
So we do prefer a management trainee over a retail sector or a QSR sector, or that time I would like to add on, we have facility management companies also coming up.
That's interesting. Yes.
We have companies who are targeting only on sales and marketing professionals. So yes, being into hospitality, we would prefer a maximum students joining hotel industry. And yes, there is a demand also, and we also want our students to join there, but the companies come to us, no, we want your students. So we are open at that angle.
All the MBA institutes, you are listening. So I think it is the student's caliber and not necessarily just the degree which determines that how well you will do in a certain field.
Right. Yes. So it's very open. And when you say MBA, so we have a master's program
yes.
And we have been hearing about them, and they are specializing in human resource and sales and marketing. So many companies, yesterday also I got a call that, ma'am, we only need a postgraduate who is doing sales and marketing. We have companies, they only come for human resource. And yesterday we had a corporate learning and development head from a hotel. So he said, we need a nice blend, a person knowing hospitality and a human resource add on to. So they are looking for such kind of
right, because I think the product knowledge, what we say, does matter. So somebody who's doing hospitality and who's also doing a master's program, so probably that could suit better.
It is because you need, end of the day, आपको product of hotels you have to sell. So if you have that hospitality knowledge, you are the best fit.
Right. So ma'am, हमने अब ये भी बात की. देखिए, मैं वापस घूम के प्रोसेस पे आ रही हूँ कि अभी स्टूडेंट्स को जिसको जॉब मिल गया है, बिकॉज वी सेड 1 person 1 job, so that policy is very much there. However, if you are getting let's say designation wise, the way you are starting with that company, because it is actually a training thing which they start, and we say it's not salary, it's a stipend. तो उसमें भी अगर आपको like from a supervisory role, if you're entering into the management level, or if it is 1.5 times higher, which you just mentioned, so in that case you can probably switch the company also. Otherwise, if you have got that, so that person would then probably continue with the classes, और बाकी सब जो हैं वो placement का जो process
and we ensure that student make us in writing that yes ma'am, I'm making this shift. And then and there we inform the company also, because company also come with their set that these many students we have to pick up from this institute. So it should not be delay from our end. We should be very clear with the company also. Yes, as per the guidelines. As I said, we share it initially also, those guidelines. So we do inform the moment the student is being selected or choosing to move ahead from the company that he or she has. So we inform the company beforehand.
मैंने आपको देखा, आप काफ़ी strict रहते हैं इस चीज़ को लेके भी, and I think because companies investing, what we had discussed earlier also, they are also investing time. Institute is investing. You as a student, you're also investing time. So you are very strict. Like once you have given your acceptance, then we try and guide the student in such a manner that once you have made a choice, before that, whatever thinking you want to do, you do that, and after that, you are supposed to stick with the company. Right. So you are very
because we have to be clear with the companies also and with the student also that communication is the thing.
Yes.
So it should not be lagging anywhere. And the time management. You have to be very quick. Discuss. You are adult enough to take decisions. Discuss with your family in case you need certain. Discuss with your faculty members. They are there to guide you.
Yes.
Come, we are there to guide you. And we do. All my colleagues, they are ready to help all the time, guiding a student, and accordingly the student can take a decision.
Yes, I think it becomes a swag also for this generation कि मेरे पास इतनी job है, मेरे पास इतनी है, तुम्हारे पास कितनी है? So, but we try. It is one job, per
Yes,
person. So
yes.
that is, as an institute, that is the aim.
Definitely.
Ma'am, अब बात करते हैं salary की. So, like, what are the pay packages?
See, salary, yes, of course. Seeing our hotel management peers that they have and what they are getting, it's a little bit lower side. But nevertheless, the exposure that my students get in the industry is much more.
Yes.
As I say that the learning opportunities in hotel industry are much more, that you are again 360 degrees getting yourself ready. And we have seen our alumnus being into civil services,
Yes.
being into defense. In the last podcast we were hearing, you name it and our alums are there. We had, yes, stalwarts in hotel industry, but other sectors also. We have students, so you can definitely go further because you are ready for your tomorrow.
So that means जो हम जैसे salary की बात करें, hospitality industry, let's be very frank about it, that hospitality industry is actually taking you more like a trainee, because they say management training, on the job training, operational training. So that training thing is there. So it is actually not the salary, it's a sort of a stipend.
Stipend.
So
I would like to clear here that once the hotel they have a management trainee, as I'm saying, management trainee. So they have their own 18 months or 24 months of training period. So post that, yes, they are paid very nicely. But those initially 18 months and 24 months, they have to
so
work
what
as a
is the
trainee.
general stipend? Because people will be interested in
So
knowing that.
it is ranging between 25,000 to 30,000 per month.
Okay.
So this is the training period
This is-
stipend that the students are getting today.
And
in
what
the
about
hotel.
retail sector? Retail is higher?
Retail is, yes,
Yes.
comparatively.
So it is how much higher?
How much higher? I can say the students are starting at 50K also,
Okay.
60,000 also.
Because for them, I think it's more on the salary line. Even if the training is there, it's 3 months, 6 months. I think that is the maximum
and
period they
it's
have.
not easy. Even at the 3 months also or 18 months also, you have steps where you are assessed.
Okay.
So you have to be on your toes during those training period also, because those are the assessment days for you.
Yes.
And they grill you very hard, because now after 18 months or after 6 months, you are dealing for the company. You are a person who is there for the company. So you have to be ready.
So that's interesting, and thank you so much for being very frank and sharing it with the viewers, like what are the salary expectations. So ma'am, एक और चीज़ हमने देखा है कि students आजकल because you have people who are very very good pay master companies, I would say. So काफ़ी बार ऐसा है कि students they go for salary or they go for the skill.
Yes, the passionate goes for skill.
Okay.
And yes, the students who look forward for a quick growth
Yes.
and little less of patience they have, they need money because they have something going on behind their mind. They might be probably looking forward for higher studies,
Yes.
because higher study needs a work experience. So they go for 2 years of any job that they get, take good money and help their own studies further.
Okay.
So that is also a route that the student takes.
Okay. And there is, I think, nothing good or bad about it. It is about your preferences.
Yes,
so
of
what
course.
exactly you want.
What you
So
want.
ma'am, हमने MSc भी थोड़ा बात किया. We talked about the flagship program. Actually, most of the time we were talking about that.
Right.
However, we also have these one-year programs at IHM Pusa. So we have it for restaurant service, we have it for kitchens, food production as we call it, and we also have it for bakery and confectionery. So what about their placement?
So their placements, we say that if you are aware that post finishing their 1 year,
Yes.
they have 24 weeks of training.
Right.
So that training we emphasize the most.
Okay.
Why? Because those are the days when they are on the training, the company looks at how this person, because he has a skill, she has a skill, the formative time of their training is very important, and they become their career that time, and the company absorbs them then and there. We have
Okay.
seen students, like when we put efforts for their industrial training selection, again I would like to emphasize here, we take full process as we go for our BSc program, we go for
Yes.
our 1 year programs also. The moment the hotels are coming for their industrial training selection, we make our 1 year sit with them
Right.
only, and they are being selected after again the GDs and the PIs, they have to go forward and they are selecting, and then for those 24 weeks, if you do well, you are a good learner, the world is yours.
All right.
So that is the process of placement for them, because we look forward, company come to us and asking अब अपने 1 year वाले बच्चे, मैंने कहा भाई कहाँ से लाइक मिलते ही नहीं है बच्चे, बच्चे वहीं
Yes.
पे प्लेस हो जाते हैं,
Yes.
because they are learning, as we have been hearing in the podcast, and our principals are also emphasize, these 1 year program is the thing in today's scenario we have to promote. Why? Because of their career that they are getting in the industry. They are the baseline in the pyramid.
So at institute, because you are first having your studies, your curriculum for 1 year, and internship would come after that. So usually during the internship, if you have made your mind to stick to the industry, so we have seen most of the people getting absorbed by the
Absorbed
hotel,
there only.
and there are many who actually venture out for either higher studies, they can go for hotel management. There are people who are starting their own small setups also, so we have seen that trend also, and especially in
Yes.
bakery and confectionery.
Entrepreneurs.
So yes,
They have become, we have many students, we call them during induction time.
Yes.
That see, these are your seniors.
Yesterday
This
only.
is what they have done in their journey. So learn from them.
Yes.
So yes, this is also a very nice area, and we look forward that our 1 years they open their own entrepreneurs, because you should be tomorrow a job
Provider.
giver. This is what we say with these 1 year programs.
Yes. Yesterday only, I had received a call from one of the ex-student, and she was looking for a FSSI license.
Okay.
Ma'am, should I go ahead with this? Because she started with a home bakery, and I think if student is going in that line, they're talking about expanding, and it's hardly not even 2 years since you pass out. I think that's a good going.
It is. It's very encouraging
Yes.
for us also when we hear that our student is now a job giver, and especially their juniors in the college.
Right.
They look forward for such experiences.
So, ma'am, what is the percentage of people who are actually going for placements? Because at IHM Pusa, we have seen that there are a lot of people who are going for higher studies also. So, is it around 50% or more than that?
No, more than that, who go for placement. And when we speak about higher studies, if we say that there are around 15% or so who go forward for higher studies.
So out of these, let's say 80-85%, so what is the placement? Because people talk about the 100% placement rate and all that. So at IHM Pusa, what is it?
So last year trend, it was 94%.
Okay, I see your file is also there.
Yes, everything is mentioned.
So how many companies had come in the previous session?
Previous session we have.
Because this one to chal raha hai na abhi.
हाँ जी. So we had 48 companies last year.
48 companies, and 94% was the placement rate.
94% placement.
So
was
that
there.
means people or students who were looking for job. So out of that, so we were able to provide the suitable
who said
match
that,
for.
yes, I want placement
Yes.
from Pusa.
94.
So we count accordingly, and
Okay.
those were 94%. And a good practice in our institute, post finishing the course also, we have self-help groups.
Okay.
So we make those self-help group. By chance, the student during that academic session is not able to get one. So whatever information we do get later on, we have a self-help group of those students. We put that information.
Okay.
And I'm telling you that my students were getting placed till August and September of that year also.
Oh.
Once the academic session finishes in May, till August, September, we are with them and we try to reach the 100% mark.
देखिए मतलब सब कोई चीज लेते हैं ना, बोलते हैं आफ्टर सेल सर्विस, so the placement team is starting right from the moment you enter and then probably assisting you in getting placed at a good hotel for your training, then coming to third year and somehow सबके mind में, because I think before anything else when the faculty is there with you as the placement coordinator, आपका mentor वाला जो role होता है वो ज़्यादा रहता है,
वो चलता ही
तो
रहता है।
हमें वो mentor और स्पेशली लेडी है तो I would say mother वाला रोल है, तो जब तक बच्चा प्लेस ना हो जाए ना वो जैसे चिंता लगी रहती है,
बिल्कुल लगी रहती
so
है।
वो चीज़
And
शायद
आप
रहती
मानेंगे
है।
फॉर स्टूडेंट्स हु गो फॉर हायर स्टडीज, जैसे मैंने कहा ना 2 साल बाद वो ज्वाइन
हाँ
करते
जी।
हैं, तब वो घूम फिर के आते हैं, मैम LOR दे दो ना।
So that's letter
So
of
letter of
recommendation.
recommendation,
So,
they look forward, and
yes.
many students they apply abroad for their higher studies.
Right.
And for management programs, they go for culinary programs abroad, and they need as a process a letter of recommendation from their faculty. So they come back to the academic department, put their request, and accordingly being passed to the various faculty members from whom they require a letter of recommendation, and we do give them, because student is there for us for lifelong.
Yes.
The moment he or she enters, till whatever the institute is with them forever.
So अगर आपने देखा भी हो, हमने आपको पहले कॉलेज के बारे में बताया, फिर हमने एंट्री की बात करी, एंड इस then we talking about the exit mode also. And अगर आपने हमारे और भी एपिसोड देखे हैं तो आपको पता है अब क्या आने वाला है. So this is the rapid fire round, ma'am.
Okay.
So you will have to be, you have been honest actually, but अभी थोड़ा जल्दी से हम बात करेंगे, and there could be certain tough questions. However, I'm hoping that you will answer them in a true spirit, right?
Yes.
They could be difficult ones. So I'll start with, as per you, the companies which approach us. Name the company which is the best paymaster.
Easy Diner.
Okay, Easy Diner. What was the package, ma'am?
8.3 LPA.
Okay, that's really good and very fast. So, okay, which is the company, if I talk about taking care of the employee, which is the company which is best?
Taking care of the employee. Okay, so all I would say, all our hotel brands, they do take care.
You have to name one. I said
It's
it
a very
is going to be a
difficult
difficult one. See,
Yes,
it could be ये मैम के अपने पर्सनल विचार है, इससे कंपनी से हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं है. So that's a disclaimer. So as per you.
I would say ITC.
Okay, good. Okay, ma'am, जब प्लेसमेंट होती है, so गर्ल्स अच्छा लाइक रेस पे जाती हैं या बॉयज?
Girls.
Girls. Okay, so everywhere in all our episodes, girls are leading the light. Yes, congratulations. Okay, boys को क्यों नहीं मिलता मैम? मस्ती करते ज़्यादा?
मस्ती, seriousness,
Okay.
हो जाएगा वाला attitude.
Okay.
सब चीज़ चलती नहीं है, चलानी पड़ती
So
है.
this is coming on here. Okay, ma'am. So let's go to the next question. And if you have to choose one department, placement point of view से, which अगर आप सोचो कि अगर आपको join करना होता, which department you would have joined?
Production.
Okay, that's really nice. And let's come to another area. I would say, if we could place people by our wish, we talked about which is the company, जो आ रहे हैं company कौन सी अच्छी है, कौन ज़्यादा पैसे दे रहा है. If you have that choice कि I want to see students of IHM Pusa being placed in this company or this area, what will that be? A dream project?
This company, all hotels.
All hotels, okay. All hotels over retails, okay. That's coming from the placement head of IHM Pusa.
Yes.
Okay, what about international placements?
International, yes, I'm proud to share that we had a real estate company that has come up, and our students have been placed this time. And two of our master's students have cracked their interview,
Yes.
and one of my undergraduate students. So we have, and we are ready for international placement also.
Okay, so now this is leading me to the next question. If I have to choose, if I have to guide a student, let's say who comes from any not tier 1 cities, so hometown, metro cities, or international placement, what do you feel is the best?
National level first.
National level, why?
Get exposed yourself
Okay.
about the reality, what is there. Then the world is yours.
Okay, so पहले पैर जमीन पे रखिए और फिर
बिल्कुल।
उड़ान लेने के लिए तैयार हो जाइए.
सही बात
So
है।
I think it was very interesting conversation. I enjoyed it. I hope you also
Yes,
did that.
certainly.
And dear viewers, before we say bye bye, अगर आपके mind में आ रहा हो कि which should be the area which we should focus on in the next podcast, do write to us and you can leave your comments here. And
Looking forward for your comments.
yes. और आप इस पॉडकास्ट के बारे में भी आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि आपको कैसा लगा. और अब हम थैंक्स करना चाहेंगे फॉर्मली डॉक्टर अंशु सिंह का, उसी प्लेसमेंट हेड. और हम विदा लेते हैं. आई ममता बिश्ट thank all the viewers for being with us. Thank you so much.
Looking forward for your
Yes.
comments.
Thank you. Bye bye.